So, Arturo, let's start with the first question. I mean, at what age and how did you start in the high jump?
Well, my first competition was when I was 16. I didn't train track. I didn't train high jump. I have a physical education teacher who told me that I could be good at high jump. At that age, I was playing basketball. That was like my sport. I trained almost every day. I was like a really basketball fan. And I saw the opportunity to improve some skills for basketball with the track training. So I started training, like part-time training at 17. I did basketball and track. And I started improving a lot in track. And I fell in love with track at the age of 17. And I started training like really, really hard, like seriously at 18. And at that age, I broke the 2-meter marks. That was one of the achievements that made me continue training track. I was the number one jumper in Peru at the age of 18 with 2 meters. And that was my beginning. I started training at the age of, when I said it, I say 17, 18, because that 17 year I didn't train as you're supposed to train for track and field, but it was my beginnings. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's great.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
What are the main barriers for a high performance athlete in Peru? I mean, I know it's hard. I lived it, but
yeah.
From your perspective, what do you think?
Well, I think it has changed. I think I didn't know the reality you passed through at your age when you were training. But for me, I think track and field is not a sport that Peruvians like or watch or spend time training. So it's a really, really small community that trains and share this passion for track and field. So it's not like for example, companies are not trying to put money in this sport because it's not affordable. It's not, I don't know how to say it in Spanish.
I can help.
Yeah, no es rentable. It's not.
There is no money in the sport.
Yeah, there's no money in that sport here in Peru. So companies don't invest in sport here.
Right.
So that's one of the main barriers. The states, like the Peruvian state, has improved the money they are putting in this sport because it's one of the sports that gives more rewards and medals and achievements for Peru. But only the state, like the Peruvian state, cannot make all the effort and try to change everything. It's also part of the Peruvian people to change this cultural thing that also happens in all of the sports, not only in track. So it's Peru is a soccer country. So all the sports suffer because of that cultural thing. You know?
Okay, and I can totally understand you. I lived it, and honestly, I saw it the last time I was there with Danny. So you're 100% right. I think that there's going to be a time where I think that things are changing definitely, and by far I felt like they were much better than before. But at the same time, we are still behind, and I understand that. It's compared with other countries that everyone has tried to improve their own infrastructure and sponsorships inside their country to try to sort out their teams. And every year, it's basically the help is more and more and more. And definitely, Peru has done that, but I don't think that we are equal with other countries that are trying to. That basically, we are still behind. Yeah. I get it. I understand.
Another thing that I think it hasn't improved, so it's the opposite. It has going down. Is the competition? You know, for me, I was the only one doing high jump for a long time. So nationally, I didn't have any competition. So I remember that when you were competing, not when you were at your peak, but before when you were improving, you have another athletes that compete with you. So it pushes you farther in every competition, in every test inside the federation. You have like a better competition that makes you want to work harder, and you live it. Like when you go to train, you see them training, so you train harder. If you have a partner which you train, I saw you posted some pictures with Moy, I think.
Moy.
Yeah, he also was a really good high jumper from Peru. And so you have that competition and that rivalry. You can improve and have that competition vibe, not only in international competitions that you have once every 3 months or 4 months. So you can train also your competition mind, your stress, your everything that you can have in a real competition, in an international competition, but nationally. So those type of things you don't have it here in Peru.
And you are 100% right. I think that the gap, now that you mentioned that, the gap was somewhere in between 2 meters 15 and 220.
Yeah.
At the moment that I ended up jumping 220 and above, I was very much in the same boat than you. And basically, same thing with the competitions. I mean, that's something that we did talk when I was in Lima. Hold on, I don't know what's going on with this. Basically, it switched. So,
okay.
Sorry. It's basically, so it's one of those things that once you pass a certain level, you have to definitely go where the level is, where you're gonna keep improving and seeing high level every single day, and not show up to a major competition with pretty much not bad competitions, but even worse, no competitions, which is going to be a disaster. But
of course,
it's you're 100% right. I agree with you. I mean, there are some things that definitely we as Peruvians, I think that we just need to keep moving forward and improve those things, because there is no way to come back, but there is probably a way to make it better. At this particular time, you are still jumping, so there is a way to make it better for you, and for probably future generations. So hopefully hopefully that is the path that we are heading here.
Yeah. Of course. For example, it's not in high jump, but I used to train with a guy that has a really good I don't know, like multisaltos, like I don't know how to say it.
Plyometrics.
Plyometrics. So we do a lot of tests of quintuples and sextuples and decuples. So he was almost good as me, So he's now is a long jumper for Peru. So he's jumping. He does long jump. So that competition, even if you have a bad day, you are not pumped up, you are not motivated, and you start competing. For me, I'm a really competitive guy, so I don't like to lose at all. I'm going to do whatever it takes to beat you. So that for me makes me go even harder to push my limits, even if I'm not feeling like at my best, at my peak. Even in trainings, I will try to not lose. So that for me helped me a lot for drive, like for driving in the trainings, even if I didn't feel like it. So that if you put it in high jump, for example, if I'm training with a guy, even if he doesn't jump as high as me, for example, if I'm in a level of 230 and he's jumping 215, 220, when you start competing, you don't start in 225, 230. You're going to start in 210, 215. Right. If you don't feel so good, you're going to start in 205. So having someone there that push you a little bit further, even in those heights, are going to make you be at the best that you could be in that moment,
Right. Yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
So let's see. What competition or what moment make you love basically make you love high jump in the beginning? What was the moment that you were like, you know what, this is what I want to do, the turning point?
Yeah, I think it's a mixed feeling with basketball. When you can dunk the ball and you are able to dunk the ball and you can feel like you are suspended in the air. Mm-hmm. So talking about sports, talking about high jump, it's that, the feeling of suspension, like you're breaking the law of gravity or something like that, But also for me, it's because I always find sports like to be a passion for me. I love sports, doing sports, even training. It's a passion for me, and I always wanted to feel like really high performance training in the sports that I like. I tried to do it in basketball, but here in Peru at that time, the basketball wasn't like an environment that make you go train that hard. So I found it like in athletics, you make your own environment of training, of high performance mentality, of wanting to improve. If you have a team that they don't want to improve, that they are like lazy, they already have that set of mind, they go party every day or every weekend. And for me, it wasn't even a temptation, it was not even a possibility for me. I was thinking something else. My mind was in another place. I was only thinking about improving, going like jumping higher, dunking better, like improving my drills. So when I started doing track and I found that environment, for me, I fell in love. I started training a lot. I started dedicating myself, and it correlated to the competitions and improvement. I started improving really fast. Even I started really old, like I started 17, 18. I became, in 1 year or 2 years, the best in my country in that sport. Then in 3 years, when I was in 2009, I was second in South America in my category. It's not youth, it's the next category. You have like youth. I don't remember. You say juveniles in Spanish?
Yeah, it's U18, U20, U23, and then
yeah. So I became one of the best in South America. Like in 3 or 4 years, I started competing. People like approach me and say, "Oh, you jump really good." So I like that like level of high performance. So I knew it was my sports like since the beginning. Yeah.
It is a cool feeling, and I think that you gotta embrace it. Embrace it and live the moment intensively, and then move forward. Because at that point, it's basically when it's all about living the moment, and later on moving on to bigger and better things. So you're doing great. Let's see. Who was the person who influenced you the most in high jump? I mean, who was that person that was a huge influence in you, as far as high jump is concerned?
As far as high jump, I have a friend. Like, this is not something that I talk about a lot.
Besides me, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Oh my God.
Okay, now you can continue. Who's the second best?
Yeah. Who's the second best? I have a friend. Like, I don't know if you met him. He didn't stay in the sport really long. It's called Geraldo Ramirez. You know him?
No.
Geraldo. He was a 400 and 800 runner. He was really good when he was young, and he got injured. But I trained with him a lot, and he shared my way of thinking about sports. Like, we talk a lot. We became really good friends. Now I think he's living in Chile, working. He has a family and everything. But the way he tried to encourage you to keep training, to eat well, like his experience in competing. We do a lot of base camps with him, so we had a lot of time to talk. And of course, all the trainers that I had also, they have shaped me. I started training with Fernando Valiente. And he was the one who picked me up from school and told me that you're really good at it. I think you're going to be really good at high jump. You want to try it? Then I almost immediately I couldn't train with him because he had another group. I started training with Oscar Valiente, his brother. I stayed with him like 5 years. With him, I share the passion for track and field. And like with him, I learned what was high performance training, concentration camps, like training camps in Ica with the sand mountains, like training really hard. Yeah, those are really tough. Yeah, we trained like nine hours a day. We woke up at 4 a.m. We trained from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. doing just the basics, planks, abs, and like stretching things. Then we trained like 6 more hours during the day. It was really tough. Like those type of things I really love. Like those are my best memories from my beginnings. And then all my training has like taught me something. And I think, but those friends that you have when you train, like for example, Paola Martinez is also a really good friend that has helped me because we share a lot of things, we share this passion, the love, the way of thinking, the way of approaching to train, the way of the life we have. We're not people that like our objectives are going in the same way. So we share the path, and they help you build your who you are, So those persons have like shaped me and helped me a lot to learn how to love this sport.
That is beautiful. It's beautiful because you are part of a whole new generation, and I honestly have seen a lot of positive in this new generation. I mean, your generation has I saw them much more together. If you want me to be honest with you, I mean, it was something very cool, and it shows. By the way, as a Peruvian team, I saw the Peruvian team performing as a team. It's not like one person was basically the only one that was able to represent back in the day. No, it was you guys you are a couple of people that basically have been competing at a high level. In the way that you guys connected, the chemistry, I thought that it was awesome. I mean, I remember 2, 3 years, 4 years ago, I saw the change. I felt proud as Peruvian. I felt proud. So that was good for you guys. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think like adding to that comment, I think the athletes, I think we have became closer, and some of the management could change or not be as close to us or like in that way, but athletes, I think we have become better friends, better companions, better teammates. We try to support each other, even if they are not, even if they are our competition, maybe sometimes, and we are proud of our teammates also.
That is awesome. And you know what? That's what the sport is about. So congratulations, guys. I mean, I think that there was an improving overall, and that was beautiful. Good job. Let's see. What do you think about vegetarian diets?
I have an experience to talk about because I saw a Netflix documentary about athletes who has became vegetarian, and I tried for 1 week and a half. I didn't try it like fully, but I tried for a week and a half only to see or to prove that athletes could change to a vegetarian diet. And like the conclusion that I had is maybe for some athletes it could happen. It's about also, you're talking about genetics, how your body reacts, how it absorbs certain proteins and carbohydrates. But for me, for high jumpers that needs to be lean, need to lose some the extra fat that you have in your body, you need to make your muscle as lean and as explosive as you can without getting it bigger. It wasn't possible for my experience, because you need to take much more calories to get the protein you need to get. So, for example, if you want to eat, I don't know, 200 grams of chicken, like raw chicken, just in the pan, you know, and you need to take almost 5 grams of I don't know, beans or soy cheese or milk that has also protein, that has a lot of protein percentage, but it's not, I don't know how to put it, as dense, you know, as you have it in the meat, you know. So I think it's possible. And there are a lot of vegetables and I don't know, soy beef that they are creating now that could replace meat. But if you're trying to, if you have like a budget, a Peruvian budget for training and eating, and you need
Kiwicha
to,
nomás.
yeah, of course, maca, a lot of maca.
We
Yeah,
have to eat a lot of maca. Maca is
yeah.
good.
But for my experience, I start getting weaker. I got a back injury. Like my back starting to hurt. I couldn't lift as much weight as I was lifting in the gym without getting hurt. And I did the opposite. I start overeating protein, like meat, milk, protein bars, protein powder. Like I start over consuming. Like my liver was like in the edge, but I started to feel it really, really good. Like I didn't get tired. I recovered like much faster. This is not like a real experiment. It's just I try it, and these are my comments of the test that I did, the experiment that I did.
So you use your body as a lab. I like it.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah.
for 1 week and a half, I did it. I wasn't training as hard,
Right.
so I decided to try it, and if I felt good, I will continue, you know, and I will investigate much further and try to find better food for me. But right now, my diet is a meat-based diet. I eat a lot of chicken, a lot of tuna, a lot of fish, a lot of beef. I really like to make my barbecue.
Yeah.
So of course, yeah. And
That's my kind of diet.
yeah, of course. If, for example, if I had to change to vegetarian diet, I had to eat meat, like just for the love of it, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I hear you, and you know what? You are doing the right thing. Sometimes, you know, different things work for different people.
Yeah.
Maybe for somebody else, you know, maybe the vegetarian diet works very well for them. You try it, you didn't feel good about it, and you move on. For example, I give you an example, okay? Here at the house, talking about me, I feel very light if at night, but at the same time, as I am aging, I cannot eat very heavy at night. I used to be able to eat a lot of steak. I used to be able to just eat a ton of steak at night and all that stuff. Well, I eat a steak at night and I feel terrible in the middle of the night. I mean, it's gonna be bad. I would probably have a really bad night. And the next day, I wake up like I couldn't rest very well, and my stomach feels bad. So what I do is at night I eat light, and I eat fruit. You know, like a lot of very natural, just a smoothie, but it's pure fruit. And at night I feel awesome, and I'm talking about like, I mean, I make quite a bit, not only one glass. I eat quite a bit, but it's fruit, and I sleep great. I feel light the next day. To me, that is good. We tried out with Daniela. I mean, she tells me, I don't know how you can do that. She feels bloated with that stuff. I mean, you know, I tell her, I don't know how. I mean, I feel this is that is the way to eat for me at night. But
Yeah,
what works for me doesn't work for her at all. So
yeah,
different people, you know. I
yeah.
mean,
Different ages also, because for me it was the same. Like now I'm 30 years old, and I used to eat
oh, hey,
whatever I
you are
want.
young.
Yeah,
You are coming out of the egg. I mean, you just
yeah, yeah. I
have
know. I have a lot of gas in my car, in the tank. A lot of gas in the tank. Yeah, but for me, I'm really trying to do like introspective a lot. So try to think how I'm feeling, how do I feel compared of how I used to feel, and I used to eat a lot, and the weight wasn't a problem. Like I used to eat chocolate and bread and rice, and I just start changing my training, and I start losing the weight. You know, it start going down because of the training. But now I had to start like at 26, 27, really check my weight and my eating and the diet. Maybe 25, the 24, 25. Yeah,
it changes.
I did a really like strong diet for going for classifying to the Olympics. Like for when I classified, I used to weigh 72 kilograms. I don't know how much is that in pounds, but
Yeah, you
it's like in
multiply
100 and
72 by 2.2. So
140 something,
you're
maybe
in.
150, 48 or something like that.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you might be right. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and yeah. Let me go ahead and
Yeah,
yeah. Let me go ahead and give me one moment. Oh, actually, uh, let me see. Do you have a calculator there? Multiply
yeah,
72 for 2.2.
yeah. I
That's
think I
gonna be
have a
somewhere
good
around 150 something, 160 pounds. So
22 kilograms.
it's gonna give you about 160 plus or minus.
58,
58.
158.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically, just out of top of my head, it was. I thought that it was somewhere around because if you multiply that by 2.2, top of my head, that was going to end up being closer to 160. Gotcha.
yeah. But at the beginning of the training, before the diet, I used to weight 80. It's like 176 pounds. So
Yeah.
it's like 20 pounds that I had to lose. It's not that I had to lose, but I just start eating much better, like, and the quantities that provides me the amount of energy and proteins not to get injured and to keep my energy going, and try to lose as much weight, unnecessary weight from my body so I can jump higher. And I didn't check my weight. I went to Mexico and I jumped 231 there, and when I came back, I I like put me in the weight, and I was in 72 kilograms. And I say, oh, this is the weight that I have to achieve. So to feel the way that I felt in this competition.
Right.
And it's not, and the diet is not just eating nothing. It's just
Oh, you have to.
providing your body enough. The amount of vitamins, minerals, energy, protein, and also fat that you need to perform. Yeah.
And being Peruvian, that is hard to do. Our food,
Yeah. Oh my
it's
God.
Peruvian food is awesome. So
Yeah.
it's tough. Well, that's good stuff, man. Let me see. Let's go to the next question right here. It says, well, in short, what kind of a strength training do you suggest for a young jumper?
For a young jumper.
Yeah, for somebody young. I mean, a kid that
First
is.
of all, yeah. First of all, I think for kids, you don't have to focus on weight, on putting your body in a lot of stress. I think for when you're a kid, when you're growing up, you have to focus on technique. Improve your technique as much as you can. This when you are, I don't know, 10 years old, 11 years old, until you are 16, 17, you're you're making the base of the technique. So it's going to be much harder. You want to change some things when you're older. So just have fun and try to listen to your coach, investigate a lot, of your sport if you like it. That's one of the things that I did a lot. I think I saw almost every YouTube video about high jump when I was starting in the sport, and try to absorb the technique, try to to master your craft, like do it as perfect as you can, listen to your coach, listen to your body. Not every technique is for everyone. There are a lot of different techniques. You have to find the technique that makes you jump higher, that makes you comfortable with your run up, with your jump. Some athletes run really fast and jump, and they are good at it. They are really elastic, really explosive, really fast. Other jumpers are really explosive, really strong. They put like 300 kilograms on the weight with one leg and start jumping. Like, but it's finding. I think those years are for learning more than training really hard. Like most of my friends that got really bad injuries are because they start training really hard, like really physically hard at young ages, and they burn their body. No, I think track and field is a sport that you have to gradually make your body able to like to take all the forces that you're going to take when you're older. You know, in high jump, your ankle, your hip, your knee, like suffers a lot when you jump, and to be able to make your ankle, your knee, and your hip stronger is not 1 month or 1 year in the weight training or jumping a lot. It's year after year, making your body stronger, making your tendons stronger, your joints, your muscle fiber has to get stronger, not only bigger, but stronger to prepare. You know, I used to do weights like really strong, but I couldn't translate it to the jumps. And when I stopped training really hard at the weights close to the competition, is when I start feeling better for competing and training. Like my way of training is in the base camp. I try to train really hard, like to put my body to a lot of stress and tension. And when I'm approaching the competition, it's the opposite. Really light training. You could have like a really like a 1 hour training in the whole day. Feel like if you haven't trained, but you have done a lot for your body, like for preparation for a competition. Yeah.
No, and you are 100% right. Good stuff, man. Let's see.
Yeah.
Right here we have another question. It says, all jumpers have something they do very well. In your opinion, what do you think was what do you think it was what you did your best? So what part of your jump do you think that was the best thing you did?
For me, it was the takeoff. Yeah, I naturally have a lot of power at jumping. I don't know if it's because I'm really strong or I'm really coordinated, so I can feel the moment when I have to jump, the moment when I have to push my knee up so I can jump. But like when I'm not competing and I'm just training, like for example in the gym, and I'm just doing a couple of jumps after the weights that I did, I can create a lot of power. Like I can jump really high, and that's one of my strengths. I have a lot of jump ability, but like my weakness is sometimes I cannot translate it to the jump. You know, when I'm running the run up, sometimes I don't feel like in the way I have to feel to jump. I'm not in the right moment. I'm not leaning back enough. I'm not pushing my hip to the front. I'm running too slow and I'm jumping too slow, even if I have the power. I'm not jumping with a good technique that makes me put me in that position that I can feel the jump.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really good at jumping. Like I can generate a lot of power, and I can use all the energy that I'm creating, and because I'm really coordinated, I can use it really well. But I'm not. Sometimes I don't have a really good technique because I started really old, and I had a lot of bad habits in the jump that I couldn't improve. So that's the weakness that I have. I jump really good. Like I can come with 3 steps and jump 215, and really, really high. But when I'm with a full run-up, sometimes I don't jump not even to 10 or 205 in the same training, you know?
Right. Yeah, I did notice that, by the way, on the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are quite a bit of technical. There are points of I call them. I try to be very positive, so I don't call them. You know, I call them points of improvement.
Of course.
You know, so there is always an opportunity to improve,
Yeah.
and you do have points of improvement, like any other jumper. I mean, perfect technique only by computer, but I'm sure you are working those very well. And we actually, you know what? This is interesting. The next question is, who is your coach, and tell us about your relationship with him.
Yeah. Well, my coach now is Augusto Malaga. He is the coach of Paola Mautino also. I'm training with him like recently. I started training last year at the end of the year. I used to train with Adbel de la Torre like from 2014 to 2018, I think. No, 2019. After Pan American Games, I started training with Augusto Malaga. And I think he sees things differently, but there are a lot of trainings and exercises that we are doing that I wouldn't do if I was alone or with another trainer. But he make me see things differently that has made me improve a lot in a lot of things. It's because I used to stay just in the things that I knew and that I did good, you know, plyometrics, weightlifting, bouncings, and everything. Jump with one leg, with another leg. I'm really good at those, and I just stay there. But with Augusto, we are improving a lot our speed, and we can translate that speed in 30 meters, in 40 meters, just running to
into the jump.
Into the jump, elevating my knee faster, and that makes my contact point in the ground even faster, so I can put more energy in the jump, and I can translate that energy in vertically. So
yeah,
there are a lot of things that I didn't saw that with Augusto, that he knows a lot about technique and about speeds and forces. We are achieving things that I thought I wouldn't be able to achieve. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, Augusto is a good coach and understands movement very well. So you know what? Congratulations to you and congratulations to him. You know, I think that you guys are a good team, and go for it. I mean, that's great. Good stuff. Let's see. All jumpers react differently to different type of training. Okay. In your case, is basically give us an example of what is your routine in pre-season and in competition season by week, for example. What do you do Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, in pre-season and in competition season?
Yeah. Well, for my age, now with Augusto, we don't have like every day is planned. We have like a weekly plan, and we try to move things depending on how do I feel, if something hurts, or for example, if we are doing a plyometric one day and I say, you know, my ankle is hurting, like my knee is a little bit sore, so we change it and we start doing like a technique, and we start doing another things. So he's really flexible about that, and I think that helps me to not force injuries that are not there yet.
Right.
No. Right. But for example, in my preseason, we do a lot of jumps. We do like in trying to be smart, we do as much plyometric as we need without overdoing it, because plyometrics helps a lot, but could be also really harmful.
You have to prepare the tendon.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and we try to do a lot of speed, improving the speed. Try to do like fast races, 40-meter races, 50-meter races, 80-meter races, trying to get our speed. If we improve our speed, we can make our run up a little bit faster, but feeling the same way, feeling really comfortable. So that's in the preseason. In the competition moment, we start just lowering the amounts. The weights in the weight training could be a little bit higher, but are more explosive. And we change sometimes. You can. For me, for example, I can do 2 repetitions going up, like almost getting your maximum weight, and then going really below that, and doing it really fast. So you can feel that moment, because high jump is about how fast your takeoff is. The faster your takeoff is, you can convert more energy going up. So just lowering the amounts, the weights, the repetitions. If we used to do, I don't know, 70 plyometric jumps over a hurdle, we start doing only 20, 25. So just to feel the explosiveness, we put the hurdle higher, but there are few repetitions. Yeah.
Right. Intensity goes up.
Yeah, intensity goes up. It's more competitive.
More rest.
More rest is less hours of training a day. But you have to be really careful about the weights you're putting, the intensity you're putting, because you have to play with that for the competition. You also don't want to compete one day in the weightlifting or in your jumps, and you have a competition 2 days before that, and you have to rest. Like 1 or 2 days after, you are training like really light training, just for preparing for the competition.
Right. So I have a question for you, and this is probably me. Okay.
Yeah.
In your case, because this is something that every jumper is completely different. Do you lift the same day of the competition or the day before, or not?
No.
Okay. How many days before the competition do you lift?
It's between 5 or 4 days before.
So you do get a lot of rest before the competition.
Yeah, but I do, for example, 4 days before the competition, I do my weightlifting. 3 days before my competition. No. 4 days before my competition, I do technique. I do jumps, technique. 3 days before the competition, I do weightlifting. 2 days before the competition, I do plyometrics, just to feel the bounce. 1 day before the competition, I just do warm up and stretching, just nothing. It could be or nothing, or stretching a little bit, so my muscles are better prepared for the next day. I put a lot of, I do ice bath 1 day before, so you can have like a really good flow of blood the day before to my body, so I can feel better rested. And that's it. 1 day before, it's almost as not training. It's a really light training. Yeah. When I'm into competition, like traveling, I stretch in my room. I go to eat, I stretch a little bit, I pass the roller or the massage ball, massage stick, and then go to eat again, just laying down. Yeah.
Relax. I mean, it looks standard. Good, man.
Yeah.
So my next question is, which are your future plans? I mean, training, competitions. What is next for Arturo?
Well, I have the Olympics.
Besides COVID, okay?
Of course. Well, we have the Olympics next year,
Right.
So it's the most important competition. It's coming. I'm preparing a lot for that. I think we are there. With Augusto, we were training just just after the after the Pan American Games.
What? Be careful with COVID, huh?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I have my gloves and my mask, and yeah, you have to be really careful about that because you don't know if it's going to harm you a lot or you're just not going to feel it. So, but yeah, we have our bleach here in the entrance so we can clean our shoes, and we change our clothes every time we go out.
No, I was just giving you a hard time because you were coughing. So that's okay.
Yeah, I know.
Cuidado con el COVID.
Okay,
so it was good. It was good. So you were telling me about Arturo, about Augusto, and your plans. So you were jumping well before COVID.
Yeah, we were training a lot, and I was feeling really, really good. Just getting prepared for competition. My weight was going down. My jumpings were improving a lot. And after Pan American Games, I had to stop training because I got an injury that I had to treat, like for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
And then I started training with Augusto. So it was like coming back, trying not to get hurt again, and trying to get the strength again in my body, in my ankles, in my knees, so I don't get injured. But we improved really, really good, and we achieved the goals we wanted to achieve in training. But it's bad that we have this thing with COVID, because luckily the Olympics has moved 1 year. But training in your house, even if for example me, I have the space for training here, some things, the floor is not the appropriate for your feet. But
you're gonna be able to work with balance there. That's good.
Yeah.
Yes. You got a balance. Hey,
yeah.
Just in case, we have 19 seconds with a time allowance allowed us. Instagram basically gives us about an hour, but if for any reason this gets cut off, I'll call you back. I'll call you again. I'll log in again.
Okay. So COVID has
we're back. Arturo, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, there's the timing in the Instagram thing, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with you.
Yeah. So I was telling you that COVID also has moved everything a lot. Our plans, our training plans, our schedule, everything. But we as athletes has to try to continue improving, continue training. With Augusto, we are making some trains like live. We are going to get in a Zoom, in the Zoom application, like with all the group that we're training with, at 5 p.m. In 2 hours, so we can train together. He's going to tell us what to do, stretching, and training, so we can train with him. And then this Saturday we're going to have another competition again. So yeah, I was trying to keep motivated, keep training. I think it's also an opportunity to start training things that you are sometimes not training in regular days, and not COVID era, but more strengthening, more like trying to have a moment to think about your technique, to read about some techniques and some information you have with your sport, and try to improve those little things that sometimes you don't have time or you're tired to improve.
Sounds good. By the way, when do you think that, and this is just a question for me, so to know when can I go back to Peru to eat a ceviche, okay? When do you think that they're going to open the airport and the stadium? I mean,
that's really hard. Yeah, that's hard. Our president is trying, sports is an event, it's something people go and watch it. It's like it's an entertainment event, So entertaining events are placed at the last phase of coming back from COVID-19. So our sports president, he used to be a basketball player, so like a federation, like he used to play for Peru in the basketball. So he knows about sports, he knows about being an athlete. and he's trying to move this to the first phases, so we can go training, going back training faster. Because the last phase is in August, September, and we don't know if in that phase airports are going to be open. You know, for me, I'm a shoe size 13, and here in Peru we don't have this size. So you helped me once, bringing me a pair of shoes for training.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm trying to figure out how to bring some shoes from the United States. But for example, FedEx or those or USP, it's not UPS. They charge you $500, 500 American dollars for one pair of shoes, for one pair of 2-pound box shoes. Yeah,
that's insane.
So that's like
crazy.
That's 4 more times the value of the shoe.
Of course, you can get 5 shoes for that.
Of course, so
that's crazy.
I'm struggling right now. My shoes are in the edge of dissolving. So yeah.
No, that's insane. Do you know anyone that might be going back to Peru at this time, or right
now, I can know a lot of people that want to go or want to come back, but the airports are closed, and I don't know where it's going to be open. That's why I think also the fares are going higher. So
wow, that's tough. Yeah. Somebody here, Saguito88, is saying Peru is banned from USPS. Also, no can be sent to Peru. Well, I didn't know that. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's my best friends that live in California.
Nice.
He helped me a lot, bring me shoes or sending me shoes with Juarez. So he helped me a lot with that. Hola, Saguito. He's my best friend.
Saguito, I think that he told me before that you were the one that inspired him to jump to 31, and that you were the person. So I don't know, man. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. He knows it. You know, this guy he was one of the guys that helped me a lot in my beginnings. Awesome. He really supported me a lot.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. Hey, man.
Yes.
Hey, you know what, Sanguito, congratulations. We all need a friend like you. So, good job there.
Yeah.
Props to you, brother. So, that's awesome, man. Hey, well, we have one more question right here. It says, what message will you give to the kids around the world that love high jumping and they dream to be like you someday?
Well, I think for the kids, when I was a kid, I think for kids that already know high jumping is important in their life, and they're falling in love with high jump, and I think keep doing it. I think this is track and field. I'm in love with track and field. I love a lot track and field. Maybe marathon is one of the worst things that I like. I don't like it a lot. But track and field, I think, is a beautiful sport. It's a sport that teaches you a lot about perseverance, about improving, about forming your mind and forming your body, and it's a lot how life works. You know, you have to find the things that you love and try to doing that at its fullest. You know, as much as you can do it, as much as you want to do it. Track and field is a sport that depends on you, but also depends on your family, your friends, your teammates. It's a sport that requires a lot of motivation. There are some times that you can struggle a lot, but if you really, really love the sport, keep doing it and fall in love with the sport as I did.
Right. That's awesome. Hey, I think that we jumped one question. I think that as Peruvians, I think this question is very important. Is for people who like to visit Peru, what would you recommend? I mean, touristic places, food. Tell me the beautiful things about Peru. I mean, this is an interview that, you know what, I'm Peruvian too, but you know what?
Yeah.
You are my special guest. So go ahead. Tell us, tell me the beautiful things about Peru, the food, everything.
Well, I think Peru has a lot of things to share with the world. obviously the food for me is number one. I have traveled a lot to a lot of countries in Europe, in South America, and you cannot compare the food with Peruvian food. It's a taste you have. It's a way to mix the flavors, we mix everything. We combine the things that you probably wouldn't guess it could be combined, but we do it and and it tastes really, really good. So I think if you are coming to Peru, you have to stay at least 1 week in Lima to try to eat everything you can. You can find a lot of variety in the food. If you like spicy, if you like seafood, if you like meat, if you like pasta, even if you like Chinese food, we have like a special mixture with Chinese Peruvian food that is really good. I think there are a lot of to share about food. And also, I think the people, people in Peru are really warm. It's really easy to talk to. We are people that knows how to enjoy life, to be happy. So, yeah, we have Machu Picchu also. It's one of the wonders.
That's
you
right.
have to visit if you have the opportunity to go. It's amazing. It's breathtaking. So, yeah, it's a magical place to be.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it is. It is. Peru is a magical place for sure, indeed. Arturito, and I know that probably people are not going to understand when I say the English-speaking country. We have Arturitos. His name is Arturo. What do you mean, Arturito? Well, Arturito is you can say it's an endearing way to say Arturo. It's somebody with affection.
Yes.
Just so people understand what means Arturito. No? So it's not his nickname. That is his name. It's just basically that is.
We call everybody like that. Yeah, Huguito, Arturito.
Arturito, yeah.
Yes.
That's right. So Arturito, thank you very much for joining us. I don't know what in the world happened again in here. I was saying hi to people, and I say hello to people here, and that's switching.
Yes.
So, but again, thank you very much for joining us. I mean, it was an honor to have you with us. I you know what? I started doing this. I have a line of people that already basically have told me that they are in the lineup to keep coming. Very, very good jumpers, very good coaches and personalities around the world. But to be honest with you, I couldn't continue this without basically having in my program the Peruvian.
Yes, of course.
You were the Peruvian, so I need to have Arturito. And now I can move on to my other guests, which they are important. But you know what? We are Peruvians, and we as Peruvians have to push forward and also push for us and what is ours.
Yeah.
So it's an honor to have you with me. And basically, and I'm gonna go and visit Peru again, and we're gonna have a good time at the track, like that last time that we were there.
Yes, of course. Yes. Well, after all, I want to thank my coach and my family also. My girlfriend and my brother and my father.
Very important.
Yes, of course. They have been really supportive, and I think part of my success is the people that surround me and push you further and motivate you when there are times that you don't want to wake up, you have lost the competition, or you got injured and you're frustrated. I think those are the guys that pull you up of that place. So those are really, really important for me in my life, in my career, in track and field. Even if they are not related to track, they help you a lot. And my girlfriend has been really, really supportive. My brother always have pushed me a lot to continue doing this that I love. And and to thank my mom that is in heaven, but he also was the one that's really, really pushed me, and she saw how happy I was when I was doing track. So he was the one that made me stay here in track and keep competing.
I had the opportunity to meet your mom in one of my trips. She was a beautiful lady inside and out, man. So she definitely watching for you. You do have an angel, and you know what? Congratulations to you, because it was. So I did meet her, and you're absolutely right. God bless you, brother.
Yes, for sure.
Good.
I know she's supporting me. Yes.
Indeed. Yes. Arturito, now this part, guys, I'm gonna stop the interview as far as English is in the English version.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and close this in Spanish with Arturo. Thank you for being with us and for joining us. We're gonna be again in Cafe with Hugo on Monday, just solo. We're gonna be touching some kind of a different topic, and with our special guest, which you don't want to miss that one. It's going to be another celebrity, and we want to have fun as always. So see you Monday and see you Thursday.
Yes. Bye to everyone who is watching or will be watching this, and keep training and stay focused, stay motivated, and this is part of life. Just another thing we have to overcome, and the success after this are going to be greater.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's